Hi, I'm Michelle Lee, and people ask me all the time, why do you talk about sex? Well, let's get one thing straight. Sex is a three-letter word that gets attention, but that's not why I talk about it, not to get attention. If I broke it down into simple science and told you that we're energy, but you're only operating on 50% of the actual potential that your energy body has, you'd probably want to know where's the other 50% and how do I get to it? So let's look at how the body works. Imagine you're walking down the street and in that dark alley, someone jumps out to rob you. But suddenly you get a massive rush of energy and you take off running. And that surge is coming from the adrenals and the hormones your fight or flight system is putting out. And it's powerful. It's not sustainable, right? So that system accounts for another 25%, which is a large portion of your energy response. So the question is, where's that last 25% coming from? And that bit is deeply, deeply tied to our sexual energy and all of the organs and the nervous system. And here's where science is starting to line up and talk about this. And research is showing that sexual desire and arousal and orgasms, they involve complex interactions between your nervous system, your hormones, and your brain. And these are not just reproductive mechanisms alone. Once you understand that your sexual response it's regulated by parts of the brain that also influence motivation, emotional connection, creativity, inspiration. So it's not just all down there. You have the ability to harness and cultivate and even increase that remaining potential energy. And it's not just physically powerful, it's neurological and hormonally meaningful. And that's where the psychological part comes in, because in theory, the term libido was introduced to describe as the instinctual drive or energy that's linked to sexual desire, which is also your life force energy. And then Freud described libido as not just sex drive in the genital sense, but as a form of psychic energy that fuels human motivation and influences everything from creativity to your emotional life, the stability of how you feel. And so some might not say that this is sexual energy. It's more mystical, spiritual, even holy. But now science is also acknowledging that the body and the mind are interconnected systems with drives and responses. So what can we do with this energy? Well, most people think that they can only use it for a sexual release. And maybe 5 minutes of pleasure, if you're lucky, 30 minutes. And you immediately feel better afterwards, but it's short term. And yeah, everyone feels more relaxed after an orgasm. That's the endocrine system. But what if you could regulate that and sustain it? That's because your nervous system has a reset button with hormones like oxytocin and dopamine. But what you're really looking for, it's not that quick release. It's keeping your nervous system balanced after that reset. So let me be clear, because especially at my age, I'm not trying to have another baby, but I still want to enjoy sexual interactions and my sensuality and what life has to offer. So why would I want to increase my libido? Yeah, it feels good. It relaxes you. It makes you feel more creative, more connected to life. It also is regulating your hormone system, energizing your organs, healing from the inside out. And so that's why I created Lee Activation and work with people intimately, because voice activations and movements, the movements we do, and the breath work and the exercises, they kind of simulate what we do sensually. And they feel a little crazy, but they're designed to unlock and stimulate that deeper potential energy, and not to eradicate it, but to continue it. The energy is propulsified, and so you gain more creativity. Your nervous system is regulated. Your hormones start balancing out. You feel happy with who you are. Intuitive eating just happens because you're not trying to crave something, to fix something. Your body's in a state of rest and repair. And this is why it's important to know your chakra systems, because AKA that's your nervous system. It's the same thing. Science is catching up to what we knew deeply, innately, what Kundalini energy was used for, to connect to your inner guidance. So now that religions and doctors and science, they're starting to say the same things with different words. So I invite you to start these practices with me. Your body already knows how to heal itself. When you cut your finger, you don't consistently look there and say, I need you to heal. I need you to heal. I need you to heal. Because that would actually create a spike in your cortisol levels. It would actually slow the healing. The healing happens when you're at rest with it, knowing what it knows to do, and you allow. Every aspect of your life you allow, when the nervous system isn't in threatened mode. So when we realize that the autonomic nervous system governs that rest versus stress, and it's strongly influenced by the way we breathe and how relaxed we are, you start to understand that people write things like the book, How the Body Keeps the Score. When you hold your breath and you tense your muscles, your body is signaling threat. Your nervous system is kicking in, dumping in cortisol levels. But when we move into actions of rest and repair, like when we're in our sexual state of being, we have extra energy potential that's available for that. You can regulate that and not just have an orgasm, but you can actually keep creating more of that energy. And that's why people use that energy for manifestation. And you start to realize that you're the creator of your reality. And if you want more in your life, you have to have more of that creator energy and create a space, a temple to hold it in. This doesn't mean that you have to even create it with someone else. This is a beautiful sacred self-practice that White Tantra was created upon. And that's why I help you see these things within yourself. So I talk about sex, but these practices are about you uncovering your fullest potential. And it's a practice like praying. They're the same thing. It's not thinking harder or solving a problem. You've already tried that. It's about relaxing your nervous system, tuning into your chakras, so you can be self-guided, have access to your inner guru. So if this resonates with you, reach out to me and let's explore what's missing in your life, or maybe where your energy's even been shut down. And if you don't feel sexual or sensual, how can we deepen that connection so that you have access to your fullest potential? Maybe join my 2 free online Zoom seminars a month. Come and join community where others are learning the same things. There's full details to these events on my website, www.newyounaples.com. Go to the events page and click on the link to join. And please join me monthly, or share this with someone you know who's ready for a change in their life, who's shut down in their sexuality, who'd like to reconnect. I'll see you there.